has contracted Zika virus. The Miami Shores resident and 20-year retiring officer learned he contracted the illness after taking a test with the department. Right now, partly cloudy skies and 77 degrees in Margate, partly cloudy skies and 76 degrees in Jupiter. I'm Gerard Campbell. News Talk 850 WFTL.
The news and talk leader for all of South Florida, 850 WFTL. West Palm Beach to Miami Beach, 850WFTL.com.
If you are over 40, you probably already know the benefits of nitric oxide by now. If you don't, you should. You see, there's a reason that everybody is talking about nitric oxide. The miracle molecule does wonders for healthy blood pressure. It boosts your energy, and last but not least, it enhances male intimacy as well. And, you know, there's a lot of nitric oxide supplements on the market, but there's only one, Heart Factors. That's the original breakthrough from Chamonix. Has years of proven results. Kathleen from Boynton Beach says, my husband's a 61-year-old letter carrier, walks 9.5 miles every day. Rich, he feels more energy overall and feels just better. He's on his second order. Thanks to you, he feels fantastic. You see, Heart Factors works for both men and women. The benefit's truly incredible. And if it doesn't work for you, hello, you get your money back. No questions asked. Call 800-621-1393. 800-621-1393. If you order today, you get a free bottle of Heart Factors. All you need to do is say, Rich Stevens told me to call. Take advantage of this offer today. 800-621-1393. 800-621-1393. That's 800-621-1393.
When you're opening a new office location, but deadlines don't let up, you need to make sure your team can start working fast, which means all of a sudden, you're looking to buy new conference tables, chairs, laptops, and whiteboards quickly. Business cards from American Express Open can give you buying power to help cover the big purchases you need to make when you need to make them. Find out how American Express cards and services can help prepare you for growth at open.com. When your business is construction and you get a big job that has to be done in record time, you need to get the ball rolling, which means all of a sudden you're looking to buy enough sheetrock and lumber, steel, and other materials quickly. Business cards from American Express Open can give you buying power to help cover the big purchases you need to make when you need to make them. Find out how American Express cards and services can help prepare you for growth at open.com.
Hi, this is Joyce Kaufman. Do you have a family member addicted to painkillers or alcohol or other drugs? Join me Saturday mornings at 8 for Get Better with the Florida House Experience. For immediate help, call the Florida House Experience at 855-SOBER-16.
Politically correct millennials,
stupid people,
bad drivers,
overpaid entitled athletes,
opinions on everything, in fact.
Hi, it's Jennifer and Bill.
Join us 11 a.m. News Talk 850 WFTL.
This report brought to you by Safe and Steady. Safe and Steady wants to be your home health company. Call now. See how to get your first 2 hours free. 561-237-5252.
I'm meteorologist Chris Farrell for CBS 12 News. It's been a cloudy day for us on this Tuesday so far, and we'll stay partly to mostly cloudy at times through the day. A little sun coming through at a high day near 82, northeast winds 15 miles an hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 72. For Wednesday, another front moving in. This front has wind, gusty winds on Wednesday, northeast 25 miles an hour, partly cloudy 82.
Live from the Crash Proof Retirement Show studios, Phil Cannella and Joanne Small have your market crash prevention plan. Saturdays at 10 a.m. on News Talk 850 WFTL.
Ladies and gentlemen, you ready for the big show?
Ready? You ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Ready. You're ready for the party? Go!
Opinionated, informed, and unafraid. This is The Rich Stevens Show, radio that moves at the speed of thought. Now, once again, here's Rich Stevens.
New York attitude, Florida charm. Talk so hot, it's a 4-alarm. Right, smart, unafraid. A double shot of truth on your radio waves. Hey, hey, oh, whoa. Time to crank up your radio. Hey, hey, whoa, whoa. Time for the Rich Stevens radio show. Rich Stevens. Sounds so nice, you're gonna say it twice. Rich Stevens show. Coming to you strong on your radio.
What's going on? Welcome to the broadcast, Hour 2, Rich Stevens Show on this Tuesday, October 25th, 2016. If it's Tuesday, October 25th, if my math is right, that means 2 weeks from today is the general election on November 8th, 2016. Early voting here in Florida started yesterday. There were some long lines in some places. When I say long lines, probably no more than 90 minutes, but people are smart. They're getting out to vote today. The reason that you want to get out and early vote is because if for whatever reason, and I hope I'm wrong, but for whatever reason, if something, God forbid, should happen on Election Day, you don't have to worry about it because you got your vote in. The question is your vote even going to count? And the answer, astoundingly, 110% yes. That's why it's important that you get out and vote and make sure you're voting for the right guy for the presidency of the United States. Speaking of the right guy, Peter Navarro, Donald Trump's policy advisor, joins us again here on the Rich Stevens Show. Peter, how are you today?
Great to talk with you, Rich. How are things in the great state of Florida that will determine this election?
Isn't that amazing that it's going to come down to Florida once again?
It is, and it's a good thing because voters of Florida understand that we need a strong president that's going to get a strong economy. Only one choice here.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Peter, when I saw the news late last night, and I know Mr. Trump is talking about this today out on the trail, that Obamacare is going again 22% higher next year. In some locations, five specific states, it's going to be down to one provider, which totally defeats the thing of the so-called, I'm doing the air quotes, you can't see, the Affordable Care Act. How is that affordable?
Yeah, I don't know if you know this about me, Rich, but my day job, I'm a forecaster, macro forecaster, and I've had some pretty good calls. I called the stock market crash in November of 2007. But in 2010, I wrote a book with Glenn Hubbard called Seeds of Destruction, which basically predicted the collapse of Obamacare. And the reason was very simple. Barack Obama did what was a politically calculating and, in my judgment at the time, a cowardly act in just focusing on one of the two problems we face in healthcare. One is coverage. Two is cost. The easy one was coverage. Obama just decreed, okay, yeah, everybody's going to have it. He did not deal with the fundamental underlying economics of the problem, and now this system is collapsing. Now, I don't know if you saw the WikiLeaks on this, Rich, but Hillary Clinton, I think it was 2013, told a bunch of Goldman Sachs types behind closed doors that there's a odds on that Obamacare was going to fail. She never said that publicly. She just let it ride. She's doubling it down. This is the kind of stuff, Rich, that drives me nuts. These people, Obama, Clinton, they do things for cold, politically calculated reasons that fly in the face of fundamental economics. And now the people in the state of Florida are facing a health care crisis because of them, and they're coming to ask for the vote. I mean, it just fries me.
Do you believe, and let's put politics aside for 1 second, Peter, do you believe that they knew this going into it? My opinion, before you even answer, is that yes, they did, and they threw it together all too quickly, which is why we had so many problems on the rollout of this to begin with. Do you believe that they knew about this before?
You ever watch Obama when he walks anywhere off a plane or whatever? He struts. And this was a strut for him. It was like he got it in his head that he was going to pass something to have his name on it. He's got it. It's called Obamacare. And it was stupid at the time because we were facing the worst economic crisis in our history since the Great Depression. That's what he should have been focusing on. And he spent a bunch of political capital getting it through. It's got his name on it. He went for coverage only, not cost. I think he knew at the time that was a problem, but I think he figured that, well, they'd have to deal with cost eventually. It's wrong on so many counts. And Hillary was part of that administration. She goes back to the original Clinton administration when she was for the single payer system. God help us there. And so, this is how they go about doing things. And it's just, It's like good politics, bad economics. And now, as the long run comes, Rich, it's bad politics too. I mean, this could bring Hillary Clinton down, and that's not an exaggeration. If everybody kind of looks at the fact that this is a collapsing healthcare system, premiums are out of control, the millennials are getting screwed. I mean, this is a major event. It's just a question of whether the media is going to report it properly.
Yeah, probably not, I'm going to guess. We're talking to Peter Navarro, Donald Trump's policy advisor, and you're a guy that knows this stuff from the inside out before you were involved with the campaign. The thing is that I have to ask, what is going on behind the scenes? Is this enough of an issue in your mind that can take people that were thinking that Obamacare is such a good thing? And this is one of the things, obviously, that the Hillary campaign is running on. Oh, I had my hand in Obamacare. Well, now, where is she today talking about this? She's not.
She's not, and she won't. Her husband called it crazy. But, we got 2 weeks to the election day. This is certainly a big issue. But Donald Trump is also basically making his closing arguments. And today he's traveling in Florida, as you know. One of the issues he's actually going to be talking about, which has gone unnoticed in this campaign, is space policy. Florida, all 67 counties in the state of Florida benefit from aerospace and space business. There's 140,000 Floridians working in aerospace and space. And the Space Coast, up the Melbourne area, Cocoa Beach, has a great and proud history as well as a strong economic engine. So that's another issue for the state of Florida that I think is going to be important for people who go to the polls because Trump's the only one that has vision on this. I mean, he sees just as a strong business person the need to go from a government monopoly, which got us to the moon, to the more modern era of a private-public sector partnership where we have these vibrant companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin basically helping with our commercial launch activities. So this is exciting too. And, of course, the big issue, Rich, for me, is the jobs issue. We simply have to fix this economy.
Yeah, and the only way to do it, bottom line, is to vote for Donald Trump. And if you're one of these people, and I can't believe, Peter, that there's actually people that are still on the fence 2 weeks out. It's mind-blowing to me. I know you have a very busy schedule today. Can you hang on for a few minutes?
Yeah, sure, whatever you need.
All right.
You're my bud, Rich, in Florida, my hometown.
I appreciate it. Peter Navarro from the Donald Trump campaign. He's Donald Trump's policy advisor on the line with us. He's going to hang on. You hang on. Quick time out. This is The Rich Stevens Show.
Can't listen live? Never miss another show. Joyce, Rich, Jen, and Bill get the podcasts. Listen anytime, anywhere. Available at 850WFTL.com.
And now a school in South Florida that teaches people how to trade stocks, options, futures, and Forex. Online Trading Academy.
So we took her gradually from $100 a day, and she grew that to $200 a day.
For 2 decades, over 200,000 people have learned the right way to trade stocks, options, futures, and Forex with instructors who are certified, currently trade, and profitable at Online Trading Academy. Learn in real classrooms, hands-on training, one-on-one coaching, all with limited risk because you learn with the school's money, not yours.
We can teach you how to generate income in the markets, whether the markets are going up, down, or sideways.
Trade stocks, options, futures, and Forex. Online Trading Academy. Attend a free half-day class in Broward and Palm Beach to see how it works. Call now, 561-674-9800. 561-674-9800. That's 561-674-9800.
So listen, you own your own home. Are you thinking about selling? Well, wait a minute. Don't do that yet. I have a much better idea for you. Why don't you rent it out with the help of the folks over at Invest Pro Properties? You see, home ownership is at its lowest rate in more than 51 years. Now, what that means is it's created an unprecedented demand for rentals right here in our area. In fact, the rental market's so hot, Invest Pro Properties, they can't get enough properties. So they'll go out to find you a great tenant, and then they'll manage everything for you from there. I'm talking about the rent collections, the inspections, the middle of the night, those horrible maintenance calls. You don't have to deal with that, and so much more. And the best part is you pay nothing up front, no binding contract. You can cancel anytime you want. They even guarantee the tenants are going to perform for you. And while this is going on, every month you get a check in the mail. You just sit back and relax. Call 561-203-7022, 561-203-7022. If you're planning a move for any reason, whatever you do not sell your home. Rent it out instead with Invest Pro Properties. Invest Pro Properties, your rental property experts. 561-203-7022.
Health Markets Insurance Agency is the DBA of Inspire Insurance Solutions Incorporated, licensed in all states. Product availability varies. Agents may be compensated on enrollment. Attention Americans eligible for Medicare. Medicare plans are changing. New plans are now available that could increase your benefits and lower how much you pay. At Health Markets, our free service can help you find the Medicare plan that's right for you without the guesswork. Even if you're currently enrolled in a Medicare plan, you may be paying more than you need to and missing out on important benefits. This year's Medicare plan changes could mean more coverage and lower costs, but enrollment is not automatic. Call Health Markets today and we'll search thousands of Medicare plans from leading insurance companies. Plans that may cost less and cover more, with lower copayments, more choices like dental and vision care, and the freedom to see the doctors you choose. Best of all, our service is free. Don't let the Medicare deadline pass. Call Health Markets and let us find the right Medicare plan for you without cost or obligation. Call 800-254-0534. 800-254-0534. 800-254-0534.
What if everything you ever thought about losing weight was wrong? What if everything you thought you knew and every time you lost weight and put it back on, what if that just was not your fault? Well, I certainly felt that way. This is Linda Stein. I've been trying to lose the same 10 or 15 pounds since I went through menopause, and I just lose it and put it right back on and thought I knew what I was doing until I met Dave Grandy. Dave has an innovative program called Be Lean, where you don't have any hunger, you don't have any cravings, and you actually burn fat. Not only do you lose the weight, but you keep it off for good. This is the last diet you'll ever need to go on. I've lost 3.5 pounds in 3 short days. You can lose up to 25 pounds in 6 weeks. And the best part, never have to diet again after this. So what are you waiting for? Call Be Lean now for a free body composition analysis worth over $99. Call 855-9-BE-LEAN. That's 855-923-5326 or online at mybelean.com. 3 convenient locations in Palm Beach and Broward.
All you fans of Street Corner Harmonies, make sure your radio is on 850 WFTL every Sunday night from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. for Ken Held's Doo-Wop Shop, radio's longest-running oldies specialty show, hosted by Ken Held, Boca Raton Magazine's Doo-Wop Radio King, and Jennifer Joy Suna, Doo-Wop's dearest darling. Don't miss the Doo-Wop Shop every Sunday night from 6 to 9 p.m. on 850 WFTL.
Being an independent means never having to say you're sorry. It's Joyce Kaufman. Catch me every weekday at noon right here on News Talk 850 WFTL.
Some call it bitching. We call it motivational speaking. This is The Rich Stevens Show on News Talk 850 WFTL.
And we are talking to Donald Trump's policy advisor, Peter Navarro, a good friend of the Rich Stevens Show. Originally from West Palm Beach, your mom still lives in Delray Beach, so you have obviously a big vested interest in this election going the right way, because we know there's one opportunity for us to make a change and have things actually happen, and happen for the better, and that is to, of course, vote for Donald Trump. Now, every time Donald Trump continues to pull in these huge crowds, Peter, is it surprising to you that the crowds are growing and yet the mainstream media is still telling us that, you know what, Hillary is way ahead?
Yeah, every time I look at these polls, I think of Harry Truman. Everybody had Dewey elected, and this time it's not just a headline the day before. It's like 2 weeks out. I mean, anybody who goes to a Trump rally knows that there's a lot of people that are going to be voting that maybe have never even voted before. How do you account for that? You can't in these polls. Plus, I think there's a lot of people who in the polls have figured out they're not going to tell the pollsters anything. It's just, so I have great optimism if the people of the state of Florida look at Obamacare, look at the economy, look at immigration, look at national security, look at all the failures of Clinton and Obama, they will pull a lever for Donald Trump, and I think that's going to happen all around the country. I think we're going to have a slice of the electorate on election day that looks like nothing we've ever seen before in the last 20 or 30 years in a presidential election. It's just going to look very, very different.
And the mainstream media wants us to think the opposite, and that's very apparent and very obvious from the way every single, whether you're watching television, whether you're listening to the radio, whether you're paying attention to the irrelevant newspapers or even websites, they're all telling us the exact opposite. And I got to tell you, I have this vision of Donald Trump holding up the Washington Times with the headline, "Hillary wins," when in fact Donald Trump wins on November 8th.
Well, you got to remember throughout the primary, a lot of the, particularly the liberal media, was kept predicting he'd lose. For example, when he actually ran the table and clinched the nomination in Indiana, if you just go back to the coverage during the week before that everybody's saying he was going to get hammered. Washington Post was particularly egregious. There's one journalist, Dana Milbank, who's also on CNN. She has never been right in her life about Donald Trump. And Indiana was a great victory. So I think what's happening is the liberal media in particular is just trying to kind of depress people and make this thing a foregone conclusion. It's just, I don't know. I mean, it's part of the drain the media swamp. I don't know if you saw the part of the speech several days ago where he talked about the Time Warner AT&T merger and how this consolidation and concentration in the media was really bad for the electoral process because it concentrates all this power in the hands of people who are influencing the process on behalf of their own interests rather than the public interest. But a lot of that's going on. But end of the day, folks get to listen to shows like yours. They get to hear the truth, and they get to make choices. And the choice first is get to the polls. The second choice is who are you going to pull a lever for? On policy, just on policy. Let's think about what this country's going to look like over the next 4 years. You want stronger growth, it's Donald Trump. If you want secure borders, it's Donald Trump. If you don't want a Middle East imploding and a flood of refugees coming here to commit terrorist acts possibly, vote for Donald Trump. Healthcare, Obamacare is absolutely collapsing. Hillary wants to give you a single-payer plan. If you want that, move to Canada, not here. So on all of these issues, Rich, I mean, come on. It's like, tell me one thing that Hillary Clinton's got a better policy on. I can't think of it. It's just wrong that people would even consider putting this woman in the Oval Office. And just on policy. But then when you add all the corruption from the WikiLeaks and you see how this woman tells the public one thing, tells Goldman Sachs another thing, lies through her teeth, and then the FBI thing. I mean, did you cover that yesterday?
Yeah, of course. Here's the thing. We are fed over and over again from the mainstream media their agenda. I mean, even Saturday Night Live, Peter, obviously slanting towards Hillary because NBC is a company with MSNBC and CNBC that are all pushing, the same crap. And I've had people call me that have been Trump supporters all along, and they say, I'm really worried because these polls, and I keep saying over and over again, do not believe the polls. Look who's running the polls. And again, the same issue happens where if you go to a Hillary Clinton rally and you ask people who they're going to vote for, of course they're going to say Hillary because they're at her rally. And that's where they're getting a lot of these polls from, and yet that information somehow doesn't seem to slip out in the mainstream media for obvious reasons.
Well, at the end of the day, what we need to just focus on is getting to the polls and making a good choice here. Choice is up to you folks out there in Florida.
Without a doubt, and people have to realize this. I have to interrupt you for a second. Are you able to hold?
Yeah.
All right, let me put you on hold. We're talking to Peter Navarro. That's Donald Trump's policy advisor. You are listening to the Rich Stevens Show. Quick timeout. Do not move. You got to hear what he's got to say next.
With the 2016 hurricane season underway, we're watching the tropics for you. I'm Gerard Campbell. Stay informed with News Talk 850 WFTL.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda has suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun, always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of Dr. Raja Sinus Relief, called the Clear Sinus Procedure.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if the Clear Sinus Procedure is right for you. Set an appointment today with Dr. Raja Sinus Relief. Call 561-537-5054. 561-537-5054. That's 561-537-5054.
Hi, this is Joyce. I lost more weight more quickly than I ever thought possible. Quick Weight Loss Centers. And unlike other programs, you know what? This was fun. It was convenient. I was eating real food that I prepared. I could eat out at restaurants. I had supplements that crushed my cravings. The program's so convenient and so easy to follow. I still get to enjoy life. I go to parties, I've been on vacation, and I've kept off the 28 pounds, now going on 3 months. It's affordable compared to other programs, and you'll get amazing fast results. Lose up to 100 pounds or more, eating more fresh-made restaurant and supermarket food than you care to eat, so you're never hungry. There are no prepackaged meals. You get 4 weeks for just $66. 4 weeks for $66. Kids join free with parent enrollment. Some conditions apply. Visit quickweightloss.net. There are 17 locations from Miami to Vero. For one near you, dial **QUICK for a free consultation and get a text with even more savings. Message data rates may apply. Dial **QUICK on your mobile for quick weight loss.
With the election just 2 weeks away, new numbers show it's a tough climb for Republican Donald Trump.
Again today in the ABC News tracking poll, Clinton is leading Trump by 12 points. Clinton with 50% support, Trump with 38. That's based on 4-day results ending Sunday night. Nearly half of all likely voters describe this election as a source of stress in their lives.
ABC's Alex Stone on the campaign trail with Donald Trump in Florida. A new poll by ABC News and the Washington Post does show 46% of Americans feel stressed by the election. Several of Donald Trump's employees came out today to say they're voting for him.
I'm a Latino, and I support this man because he deserves it. I empower Trump.
That was at Trump's Doral Golf Course this morning. Manhunt still on in Oklahoma for a suspected double murderer who's been on the run for nearly 36 hours now. One of the curses has to end. The Cleveland Indians, who haven't won a World Series in over 65 years, taking on the Chicago Cubs tonight. They haven't won in over 100. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Good morning. I'm Gerard Campbell with an 8:50 WFTL news break. A ballot problem in Broward County this week. The proposed amendment on legalizing marijuana for medical use was missing on some ballots. Officials say they have corrected the problem. The Palm Beach Post reporting Austin Harriff, the FSU student accused of attacking and killing a Tequesta area couple, has conducted an interview with TV host Dr. Phil. Ocean Ridge Vice Mayor Richard Lucibella has been arrested on shooting charges. They say he fired a shot into the air over the weekend. They say Lucibella was intoxicated when they arrested him. Another Miami Beach police officer has contracted Zika virus. The Miami Shores resident and 20-year retiring officer learned he contracted the illness after taking a test with the department. Right now, partly cloudy skies and 77 degrees in Margate, partly cloudy skies and 76 degrees in Jupiter. I'm Gerard Campbell. News Talk 850 WFTL.
I want to tell you about Auto Buy. It's the easiest and only way I recommend you sell your car or your truck or your SUV or even your motorcycle. And it's probably the safest way to do it, too. And why is it the best? Because they're going to pay you the max. Every single time you go to Auto Buy, they will pay the max. That's the big difference. And Auto Buy is waiting to see you today. They listen, you go to WePayTheMax.com, get the location nearest you. There's 5 locations in South Florida, from the Treasure Coast to Miami, so there's really no excuse why you have a car and you're trying to sell it online, or maybe you have a car sitting in an empty parking lot with a sign on it. That's the old way of selling cars. And when you do that, you don't know who you're dealing with, especially if you have it online and somebody has to come to your house. Instead, AutoBuy. It's the safest way, and they're always going to pay you the max. Listen, maybe you're driving a lease and you're coming to the end of that lease. You're not going to hear this from the dealer, but I'm going to tell you, quite frankly, I didn't know about this until Market AutoBuy told me that you may have equity in that lease. Therefore, they will give you that money and pay you the max on the spot as well. Listen, you get a certified evaluation in 20 minutes or less. AutoBuy, the only way I recommend you selling a car. I've sent so many people to AutoBuy, and every single person tells me the same thing. Thank you so much for telling me about AutoBuy. WePayTheMax.com. That's WePayTheMax.com.
Greek Moving and Storage takes the stress out of moving. Let's face it, moving is not something any of us want to have to deal with. But when you gotta move, you gotta call Greek Moving. These guys are amazing. I've had my fair share of moving where the movers are late or they work at a snail's pace, but not Greek Moving. They get in and out, often completing the whole move within a 2 to 3 hour time frame. Greek Moving and Storage makes the process painless. Everybody I work with has used them because from the manager to the actual movers, they're awesome, respectful, professional, and totally reliable. I won't hesitate to use them in the future, and I'm going to recommend Greek Moving and Storage to anyone anticipating a move, whether large or small. Plus, they're affordable. The prices are great, the service even better, so if you're planning a local move, interstate, and you live in Broward, Palm Beach, or the Treasure Coast, call Greek Moving and Storage. If you hire anyone else, you're making a mistake. For a quote on your move, call 561-683-1313. That's 561-683-1313, or on the web, it's GreekMovingCompany.com.
This weather report brought to you by Gun World of South Florida. Load them up and check out Gun World of South Florida, 1700 South Powerline Road in Deerfield, or online at gunworldofsfl.com.
I'm meteorologist Chris Farrell for CBS 12 News. It's been a cloudy day for us on this Tuesday so far, and we'll stay partly to mostly cloudy at times through the day. A little sun coming through at a high day near 82, northeast winds 15 miles an hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 72. For Wednesday, another front moving in. This front has wind, gusty winds on Wednesday, northeast 25 miles an hour, partly cloudy 82.
South Florida's station for the Seminole Nation.
Francois dropping, looking, crossing route, throws, caught, touchdown FSU, 96 yards.
News Talk 850 WFTL. Don't believe everything you think. We think. Now, back to Rich Stevens.
Actually, that's true. Don't believe everything you think. We think. I want you to think about that. Peter Navarro, who is Donald Trump's policy advisor, with us on the Rich Stevens Show today. Peter, I appreciate you hanging with me. I have a very important question to ask you as far as policy. And it's a pretty simple question. And this came to me last night when I was watching CNN, and they were talking about how Bill Clinton's here in Florida and Hillary Clinton's in Florida and her vice president and the daughter and the uncle and the mother. If this election is all in the bag for Hillary Clinton, some people would like you to believe that she's already getting the stationery for the White House all in order. Why is she and the Democrats out campaigning so hard if they think this is a lock?
Well, behind closed doors, they're obviously saying different things, but that's Hillary's MO, right? This is a strategy, Rich. It's a strategy that's attempting to demoralize people by using skewed polls. CNN, MSNBC are leading the way on this. We know how the game is played. I think it's unfortunate that this kind of thing is designed basically to sabotage turnout. That's all it's all about. I mean, it's trying to create this bandwagon effect. It'll depress Republicans, elate Democrats, and skew the results. Again, I get back to this, Rich. People of Florida, ask yourself, are you better off today than you were 8 years ago when Obama Clinton took office? These people, just as an economist, Rich, this is what I do every day of my life. Every day of the last 8 years, I've just shook my head. We put a lawyer in charge of the government with no training in economics at the time of the worst economic crisis in our history. And what have we gotten? We've gotten Obamacare and exploding premiums and a collapsing system. We've gotten a foreign policy which has made the world extremely unstable in places as far away as the South China Sea and in the Middle East. This is just wrong.
You know what people neglect certain things that happened in the past. And one of the things that I think we should bring to the forefront that we haven't heard in several years is that forget about all the Obamacare things that we're talking about now. Let's go back and look at when they had all those problems with the rollout of the actual website. And Peter, I'm sure you're aware that the total bill for that website, to build that Fakakta website, was over $70 million.
Yeah, amazing.
Amazing. And nobody's talking about that anymore. I think this is a good time to bring that up because here's $70 million. I mean, you talk about a waste of money. It's just like these Hillary, Donald Trump attack ads. Millions and millions of dollars have already been spent, and she's going to unleash in the next 14 days even more. When we have people that are living on the streets here in South Florida, just look at the difference in what a small percentage of that money could do.
Yeah, and what these folks in the White House don't understand is kind of how this trickles down. You talk about trickle down. Obamacare has trickled down to people who just don't have the means to abide by Obamacare. I had a documentary filmmaker, so I'm working on this project on the side. The guy's working with me on a contract basis, and I just happened to ask him, what's your health care situation like? And he said he didn't have any. And I asked him, well, aren't you supposed to have any? And he says, yeah, but I can't afford it under Obamacare. And then I said, well, don't they fine you if you don't have it? And he said, yeah, I'm facing a big fine on my tax return next year, but what am I going to do? I can't pay for the health care, and when the time comes, I'm not going to be able to pay the fine. What are they going to do to me? I don't know.
Yeah.
How does that happen, Rich? How does that happen to our young people where they're living in a world where our White House, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, can't provide them with good jobs at a decent wage that allows them to buy health care? I mean, what is wrong with that? They've had 8 years to make the problem better, and all they've done is make it worse, and people may elect 4 more years of that. I mean, come on.
Well, it goes back to the old concept, Peter, where you pick up a gun and you say, ready, fire, aim. And that's what they've done.
That's what Obama did in 2010. I mean, this Obamacare. I mean, people, Hillary Clinton was right there by his side in that administration. Obamacare, in some sense, was the stepchild of Hillary Clinton's single-payer plan in 1992 that basically put her into hiding for several years because it was so bad, and she was trying to basically be president in the White House instead of her husband. And now we want to turn the keys over to the Oval Office. I mean, it just, oh man, come on, Florida, let's get to the polls and just drain the swamp. Drain the Obamacare swamp, drain the job swamp, drain the corruption swamp, drain the media swamp. Let's just get her out.
You got to open your eyes. You have to take the blinders off. You have to forget about the mainstream media. You have to realize something. And a lot of people don't agree with everything Mr. Trump says. I get that. I'm sure he gets that. I know you get that. But one of the things that he has brought up numerous times, I want to touch on really quick, and I believe that this sums it up. This woman has been in politics on the forefront for 30 years and has nothing under her belt, legitimate nothing under her belt, that would say that she deserves. And you see, that's part of the thing here, because I believe this is a Clinton entitlement. She thinks that she's entitled to this, and she's not, because she hasn't done anything that would prove worthy enough that says, okay, you know what, for 30 years you've done this. Well, what have you done?
Yeah, and I've never said this on the air, but I'm going to say it now. I mean, to me, going back to her days in Arkansas and all the scandals she's gone through, she presents as what I call a political sociopath. She's gotten to the point after 30 years that she really can't tell the difference between truth and lies. She gets out there like an automaton and just spins webs of lies and deceit to the American people, and she has no idea that she's doing anything wrong. And it's sociopathic, and it's just, I mean, the American people, WikiLeaks has done a great service to the world on this, because they have unmasked her. as a political sociopath. This is a woman who has a public voice and a private voice, who will do anything to get elected, to stay in office. And then this is the worst part, Rich. It's bad. Okay, you get somebody to do anything to get in office, so maybe when they get there, they actually do some good. She doesn't do good. She just sets up pay for play, whether it's at the State Department or in the White House, takes a bunch of money, dispenses favors.
And why is it that people that support Hillary don't realize, Peter, all the stuff that we've talked about over and over again, the things that surround her, the things that have happened to anybody that challenges a member of the Clinton family? Are they just, do they not want to hear and or see the truth, or are they scared of a Donald Trump presidency? I mean, what would you attribute here?
Well, you know, Obama presents himself as some kind of high-minded moralist, but I think in private he's got the same disease as Hillary. I mean, these people, it's all about power. I mean, if you can have Terry McAuliffe, governor of Virginia, Clinton's one of her best friends, if he can basically be the bag man for giving money to the wife of the FBI director investigating Hillary Clinton for corruption, you know that this is not about the public interest. It's just about hanging on to power. It's one big influence peddling scheme for their own benefit. It's just, I mean, America is better than this. America is better than this. And it can't be great again unless we recognize that America is better than this.
And people, again, I'm going to say the same thing. And I've said this over and over again, Peter. You got to take the blinders off. You got to realize that there is life after the Clintons, and there is a solution to help not just some people, but everybody. And that's what Donald Trump is going to do for us. Do not believe the polls. Do not believe the mainstream media. Your vote does count. Your vote is more important today than ever. Make sure you get out an early vote and or call your supervisor of elections and say, send me a ballot by mail. Please do not wait till November 8th.
Make it count. Florida's going to determine this election. It did it in 2000. It's going to do it in 2016. This is so important. And just ask yourself the question: you're better off today than you were 8 years ago. And
if you
what I'm feeling,
go ahead.
You're safer today than you were 8 years ago. Is your health care cheaper today than it was 8 years ago? Just go down the list. Are your borders more secure than they were 8 years ago? Damn.
The list is too long for us to go through. Peter Navarro, it is always an honor and a pleasure to have you on the Rich Stevens Show. I look forward to the next opportunity.
You're the truth, my friend.
Thank you, and you as well. And I know we're going to get you on sometime again, obviously in the next 2 weeks. Please send my regards to Mr. Trump and everybody else in New York, and we'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, Rich. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That's Peter Navarro. He's Donald Trump's policy advisor. Really good guy, knows his stuff, as does everybody involved with the campaign. That's another tremendous difference in the two campaigns. Look, do the research. You can find this stuff out. Look up Peter Navarro. Look at his background. 877-850-8585. 877-850-8585. Do you realize that tonight is game 1 in the Baseball World Series? And if you had an extra $2,500 laying around, you couldn't get in. I'll tell you why. Coming up next, this is The Rich Stevens Show.
Traffic got you down? Save time with News Talk 850's real-time traffic map, available on our website at 850WFTL.com.
Mondays and Fridays on The Drive at 5, Phil Cannella, a retirement phase expert and host of the new Crash Proof Retirement Show, airing Saturdays at 10 a.m. will join Karen Curtis live in studio to discuss the current state of the economy, the recent stock market activity, and what to expect on this Saturday's show, airing at 10 a.m. Tune in every Monday and Friday at 5:20 to hear consumer advocate Phil Cannella with Karen Curtis on The Drive at 5 on News Talk 850 WFTL.
Early voting for the general election runs now through November 5th. Be the voice that needs to be heard, because your voice and your vote matters. This message is brought to you by Cersei Denny at CerseiLaw.com.
We elect a new president on Tuesday, November 8th. I'm Gerard Campbell. For the latest on the race for the White House, join us at News Talk 850 WFTL.
Fighting addiction takes teamwork. Hanley Center at Origins has a team of highly specialized addiction experts that treat the entire family system. For over 30 years, Hanley Center at Origins has provided trusted and nationally acclaimed addiction treatment right here in West Palm Beach. And they accept insurance. Visit originsrecovery.com or call 844-6-HANLEY. Healing happens here. Hanley Center at Origins, 844-6-HENLEY or originsrecovery.com.
I'm William Jefferson, and I approve this message. My wife's opponent has been telling some real whoppers.
We interrupt this political ad for the following statement of actual truth. Lawson Hurricane Guard windows and doors will keep your home safe and energy efficient. That's not just a campaign promise. Lawson has been manufacturing quality windows and doors right here in Florida since JFK was in office. Lawson has got you covered. Visit lawsonwindows.com. Now back to the mudslinging.
Blah, 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 blah.
When Hurricane Matthew roared through our region, were you one of the thousands of people struggling and sweating to get your hurricane shutters installed? Many of us were in a panic, calling for help to get our hurricane shutters put in place. But there's no need to panic anymore. This is Gerard Campbell. Throw away your old hurricane shutters forever by upgrading to Impact Windows and Doors from FHIA, Florida Home Improvement Associates. Call today for a free in-home demonstration. 561-330-5700, 561-330-5700. FHIA is local, does not use subcontractors, and you can save lots of money right now. They've got $200,000 in discounts and rebates available at this moment on Impact Windows and Doors. Call FHIA now and save and get some peace of mind. 561-330-5700, 561-330-5700.
Listen, I got to tell you, the feds have not reacted yet and changed the interest rates. That means today, my friend, you can get locked into a fixed rate if you call Michael Kotze, 561-441-2730. If you call Michael Kotze, fixed rate under 3%. These are incredibly low numbers that you may never get another chance. An opportunity like this doesn't come around knocking on your door too often. So don't let it pass you by, because if it passes you by and it goes the opposite way, you're going to kick yourself in the butt and you're going to say, why didn't I listen to Rich Stevens and call Michael Kotze? So do it today. 561-441-2730. That's his cell, so you could text him and he'll text you right back. 561-441-2730. Listen, he doesn't work banking hours. He's available when you need him most, in the evenings and on the weekends, even during a game. That's fine. And he's a big sports guy, so I'm telling you, if he's taking time to help you, that says it all right there. Michael Kotze has been doing this for more than 20 years. That's one thing, helping people like you in South Florida with all their mortgage needs. Doesn't matter what situation you're in. Maybe you're dealing with somebody else right now and you're just going around in circles. You see, the process is not supposed to be like that. That's why I encourage you to take this number down, lock it into your phone, get in touch with Michael Kotze sometime today or right now. 561-441-2730. 561-441-2730. That's 561-441-2730 to reach Michael Kotze. NMLS number 166254. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender.
Most people are unaware that when involved in a motor vehicle accident, their own insurance pays their medical bills. Florida is a no-fault state, which means that regardless of fault, your own insurance bills get paid after an accident. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine for one of our experienced attorneys to explain to you how those benefits work. Our team is available 24/7 to provide you responsive legal help. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
Main office, Fort Lauderdale.
This is Michael Savage with news, views, and unprotected talk on the Savage Nation. Weekdays at 3, right after Joyce Kaufman on News Talk 850 WFTL.
If you can't say something nice, call the Rich Stevens Show. 877-850-8585. You'll never know what'll happen. Now, here's Rich Stevens.
I got to tell you, it's so much fun to watch the Rich Stevens TV live stream, because things happen in front of the camera that you don't see, but things also happen behind the camera, as you can see behind me right now. If I just slide over, which way do I got to slide? This way. Yeah. Okay. So it's interesting to watch. It's It's all about live local radio. 877-850-8585. Ken in Boynton Beach, how are you today?
Okay, how are you doing, Rich?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I agree with you about pollsters because I had an experience with one of them a couple of days ago. I told the guy that I was a Trump supporter, and then he decided to drop me. What he did, I answered the phone. He said that he's working for NBC something poll, and I said, great, I support Trump. And he said, well, let me start asking you questions. And then he asked, are you registered to vote? And I said, no. And then he said, well, I'm sorry, you can't take you.
See, again, it's all the polls that are skewed to the way they want them to be. I don't even know why and or if they talk to people in general. I think most of the time they just make up whatever they want because that fits the agenda. And you just, again, solidified what I'm talking about. Listen, we're almost out of time. I want to tell you, if there's one good thing about the Chicago Cubs going more than 70 years without a World Series, it's fans that have been able to save the money to buy tickets for the games. Because it'll take you about 70 years to save the money. The prices for these tickets are just ridiculous. The cheapest ticket for tonight's game at Cleveland's Progressive Field is more than $3,000. And I'm talking about seats that normally cost you, what do bleachers cost, like $10, $15? Are they still $10, $15 for bleachers?
For a baseball game, I don't know, actually.
It's probably less than $20. It's got to be. And they're selling for more than $3,000. Now, experts say this World Series that starts tonight, is going to be the most expensive sporting event in history. Now, normally a Super Bowl is the most expensive event where people pay like $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 for seats, decent seats. This is what this World Series is going to come up with tonight. Incredible. Now, for Cubs and Indian fans, it may be worth tapping into your life savings for this, but everybody else, who gives a crap? I'm happy for my friends in Chicago or my Chicago fans here in South Florida, but would you rather, no matter what the circumstances, would you rather spend that kind of money on something that you can use, or do you really want to be a part of history and spend $3-4 grand on a ticket to be in the grandstands in a stadium? How much?
So it looks like just around $20. It says the average cost of spending at the ballpark for two people for the tickets is about $41.
You see, that's ridiculous. So normally, if you wait till next season, well, actually next season they're probably going to raise the rates because now they got a World Series under their belt after 71 years. So they're going to have to raise the rates. But think about this for a second, because normally $40 is going to cost you. And by the way, that $40 is for two. I'm talking one seat, just over $3,000. So listen, I hope you've been saving up. The average price for a game ticket at Wrigley, $6,155. And that's for one of the other games. Game 5, which is probably going to be the deciding game. Well, maybe it might go all the way. I don't know. But Game 5, tickets are over $10,000 a piece. You got to be insane.
So what I'm looking at here, it's a list of the most and least expensive for just regular games. Wrigley's actually one of the most expensive regular seasons. It's about $64 on average for two tickets during the regular season. The most expensive is $96 at Fenway.
Yeah, that's
so you're paying well over.
This is just
the most expensive ticket.
This is just mind-blowing numbers to me. But again, I think I can't relate because I come from New York. I think the Yankees have won 27 times in the World Series. This is their first time in 71 years. So I wish Chicago all the best. I don't wish any harm, but I mean, come on, sit at home and watch it on TV. And, the only sad part, oh, by the way, did you see Harry Carey on the Jimmy Kimmel show last night? He came back. I love Will Ferrell. All right, listen, we're done for today. Be safe. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you, Garrett. And thank you for listening and watching Rich Stevens TV.
I'm Jay Farner, president.